All right, everyone, we made it to yet another Friday. I know I was saying forever that I would do one every Friday, and we didn't do one last week. But we put a video out just in case you were wondering. There's a video out about how to identify profile pictures or find duplicate or find people online. Like, say you find a profile picture of someone and you want to find other images. We walk you through that. It's in a how-to video here somewhere in the how-to section on YouTube. Now, if you're watching on one of the other networks, then come on over to YouTube and you'll be able to find it down there on our YouTube page. Or better yet, if you're not a member of Cyber Social Hub, join it. We have all of our videos and stuff up there as well. It's just a bunch of free, I did say that magic word, free information that you can share with other people. We give out free stuff all the time when it comes to digital investigations or researching something. And a lot of these things are a lot of just tips and tricks that I pick up along the way. And this one's got a little bit of a funny story behind it too. I think I covered it in the video too, but I'm going to mention it again today. So today, what we're going to talk about, lots of fun stuff. I'm trying to see where everybody's at, all my regular people at. So, hey, everyone. First of all, we're obviously trying to build the channel quite a bit, and we've built it really fast. I'm thankful for all of you guys that, for whatever reason, you keep tuning in. I appreciate it. And keep coming back for more of the information that we push out there. If you guys have ideas for what videos you want to see, let us know. We love to do these things. My past life, I was in radio, so I love to talk, just to get on here and talk with you guys. It's a lot of fun. And it's Friday. It gives us kind of a good reason to skip out of the second half of the day for the most part. And that's why you see Megan and some of my staff in here as well. They do the same thing. So you guys might as well have some fun here too. So again, if you get a chance, you don't have to, but we really appreciate if you like this content and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you're on Facebook and LinkedIn, or where else are we broadcasting? We're pushing out to Twitter as well. You can do the same thing there, but obviously YouTube is our home channel where we appreciate those likes and subscribes. And if you want to know when we go live, then you can hit the little bell icon down there, and it will notify you when we go live. And you'll be able to see all that happens, because there's a bunch of stuff coming up that we're going to be going live for. We're going to be going live for what's the next one coming up? IASIS. We're going to be down on IASIS in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Today's the 7th as we're broadcasting this, and we're going to be talking to some folks down there, letting you guys know about all the awesome digital investigator training that they have down there, and just talking with the latest trends, seeing what's happening in the industry. I love going to these things just to find out what's new, what's the latest innovation out there. So yeah. Hey, everybody, I can see you guys down in chat. Now I can see chat from Facebook, but I can't reply back to you in chat, but I can, obviously talk to you here as we see it. LinkedIn and Twitter, I'm sorry, I can't see those. I go back and find them later, but as we're broadcasting live, I can't see them. So how many, just at a show of, I don't know, you don't have to hit a like if you don't want one, but if just out of, just type me into chat, how many people do any types of online style investigations when it pertains to OSINT? Like, you say you have to track down, an image, or, you're looking at this image and you're like, man, I wonder where this was taken. There's no geo information behind this thing. How do I find any information about this? Suspect's not telling us anything. Nobody's cooperating, things like that. How do we find that stuff? Most of you probably already know how to do a reverse image search, right? At least I hope so. Again, that's what that video was about. We showed TinEye in that. We've showed Pixie in that, which is mainly for photographers, but it does a really good job to find new instances of an image online. Of course, Bing has one. Yandex has one. I didn't show that in the video. What else? I can't pronounce the other one. Baidu. I can't pronounce it. they have one. So there's a lot of different things that you can use, and you should be using multiple sources when you look up images. But some of the things that I've noticed when I was laying this out, and I teach a small digital forensics course at Ohio Northern University. And I was showing this to the students, I think just on Wednesday. And one of the students had some questions, says, hey, can it do this? Can it do that? Are we able to search for this? They were great questions. They were pretty phenomenal questions, actually. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. Let's find out. So some of what we found out earlier this week in our own research, I decided, hey, let's make a hubcast out of this. It's good information. Let's let other people know about it. So that's what we're going to do. But before we go any further here, hold on. I got to jump over to, oops, I got to turn that off and jump over to our own website here for just a second, because this is ongoing. There's the thing. So this is this is Cyber Social Hub. If you're not a member, you can just go to cybersocialhub.com, sign up really quick. It's 100% free. The only thing we do is send you emails. That's it. And you can opt out of those. You can say, hey, don't send me any more emails. And we won't send you any more emails. We never sell or give your information away. Here's the kicker, though. Obviously, we have to keep the site paid for, right? Up and running. So we have some awesome sponsors in there. And sometimes they hold webinars, things like that, where you sign up for one of their webinars, they'll get your email address at that point. But we will never actually just give it to them. It doesn't happen that way. So there's my disclaimer on that. I want you to be full transparency on those things. But up here in the upper, you guys see the QR code, right? So what we're running, and we're doing this every month, right? Something fun, something different. This one's got some digital forensic information in it here. And you see this QR code right here. I'll zoom in on this thing. That way, if you have your phone handy, you can just aim it at this QR code right now. But don't do it right now. I'm sorry, because it's timed. This one, we made it timed because Manny, I think in the last one, the test one we ran, was cheating. He was looking up all the answers. But now it's time. So you get only a few seconds to answer each one as it goes. So if you don't know the answer, you don't know it. And at the end of that, what we're going to do is we're going to pick a winner, and we're going to give away one of our Hubcasts shot glasses. If you've not seen these are, hold on, hang on. Let's see if we can hear it. They're real metal. And what it was, it's a shell casing that's been fired out of an A10 Warthog right here. And here's the certificate from that. We get these from a company that produces these for us. We just have our logo put on there, or our name put on there. We're going to give that away to you if you're picked in that drawing. So go over there and play trivia. Just don't do it right now because it is timed. You won't be able to hear any of the show unless you come back and watch it later. Okay. So with that being said, I am going to slide over to, where am I going to slide over to? Oh, Google. We are talking about Google Lens. It wasn't a big secret of some of the things that we're going to talk about based on the title. It said it in there. But things that we're looking for. Now, there's going to be a funny story in here as well. And if you guys have any questions, throw them in chat. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, throw them in there. Happy to answer them for you. And we'll show you how all this stuff works. Now, nothing really special here. I'm on Google. But those of you who didn't know, man, my mouse is huge on this thing. Right here, there's a little camera, right? That's what we want to use. You don't have to. You can just also drag the image over there. Google will auto-detect it. I'm in Chrome, so I don't know if it does this on the other browsers. But this is our search by an image. And this is pretty powerful. We're going to start off with just some basic stuff. Some of you guys are going to go, oh my gosh, we're going to start with basic. It's going to bore me to death. But bear with me because you're going to see some pretty interesting things that you may or may not have known. And I'm going to tell you the reasons I think Google created these and how OSINT and investigators can use that same technology to really get some good information here. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is I'm just going to pick this random picture of this guy that you guys might know who it is. I'm going to drop it right here. And there he is, right? Elon Musk, there he is. So this is one I was showing to the students with profile pictures. And the reason I think this is awesome when you drop this in here, because it immediately identifies who this person is, if it knows, which it knows a lot. I'm surprised. Google's gotten really good at this. I thought some of the more specific OSINT tools would be better. but nope. Google's really rocking at this. So you can see clearly here, it has found, it looks like this image right down here is the same image. Obviously, this one's zoomed in a little bit more. But then it also finds other ones in the series here. As I scroll down, that you can see others in the same series with the same outfit. So it's going to identify. Now, obviously, this is a very canned version, right? I mean, I knew obviously it's going to find Elon Musk. Some images it may or may not find. Now, I'm going to put up in this next one, one that, hang on, where's my mouse at? I'm seeing the copies of it. All right. So I'm going to put up another image, and you may or may not know this person as they come up here. There you go. Hold on. It's me, right? So there's me, and this is, I use this profile picture, right? And you can see it came up with a visual match there of me that I use it on Twitter. And again, I do use this on Twitter and try to, come on, pull this image up. So in there, it found me. Now, if you guys want to search further on this image, because you can see there's one result here. Up top here, it says find image source right here. Find image source. And if I click this, it's going to take me to a full-blown like Google search based off of this image. Now, if you notice, I'm going to zoom in a couple different places. It's finding this original size, 1,000 by 1,000, and you can search all sizes, medium, small, medium, large, so on and so forth. I'm just going to leave it as is, but just be aware that there are other options here that you can take a look for. But what I find amazing, again, I'm going to zoom in on a few of these. Like, sorry, I can't zoom in very far for some reason. But I appeared over on Xtero's podcast. I don't know when it was at this point. But you can kind of see right in here that picture of me in another circle in their graphic, and it still found it, which I was pretty amazed that it was able to locate that in another thing. So this particular one, it was funny. It was a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to my staff, Megan and Abby, and we were all like, okay, hey, this is how this works. Do you guys think this would be a good video to make? And we were looking at it. And we're just kind of going through these things. And you can see, it's finding all of this stuff where my pictures, where things I've been mentioned in, and a whole bunch of people that are not me. And as I click through these, I'm like, yeah, it's finding just about everything, really. And then I came across this Yahoo one, this UK movies, Yahoo, Jennifer Lopez, something she says for her critics. I'm like, what? Then it says from Elle last week. So I'm like, all right, I just kind of ignored it. And I'm like, what is this? Now it's Elle Magazine, right? Elle Magazine right here, right? Here's what Jennifer Lopez has to say to critics of her super, boop, and there's my image. So I was like, what the heck is this? And literally this conversation that I'm talking about happened just last week. And I'm like, what is this? Well, for those of you who may or may not know, I tend to go off on rants and tirades every now and then, right? So a couple of years ago, again, I'm not here to get opinions or what other people think of this. That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I do respect what your thoughts are on these things. I went off on a rant on Twitter because Jennifer Lopez and Shakira hosted were the halftime show for the Super Bowl, right? And my kids were all watching, and my kids are real tiny, right? They're at that age, they see something inappropriate. They just look at the screen and their eyes get really big and they're like, what the heck is happening here? Well, if you're familiar with that halftime show, it was not kid friendly. I didn't think so. So all I did was I went on to, and it says she's too sexy. I would not use the term, oops, now I clicked stuff I shouldn't have clicked. I would not use the term, sexy in this at all, because this was not the image I was referring to. I actually posted that in a separate image that they didn't decide to go with. It was pretty raunchy. That's probably why they didn't pick it up. But as I'm looking through here, I'm like, why is my image in this thing? Oh, they quoted my whole tweet in here and put me right in Elle Magazine, which like I said, this has been in here for 3 years. 3 years. And I didn't know it was out there until I did that image search and found my image on Elle Magazine's website. And there I am talking about, various things. And I wasn't like horribly mean about it. I was just very thing. Anyway, it's amazing what you will find in Google searches if you go looking for it. Yeah. So yeah, and you'll find amazing things about yourself that you didn't know you were featured in a magazine. I guess you're right, Megan. I can now say that, hey, as seen in Elle magazine, right? When I do talks and stuff. I laughed so hard. I thought, my face turned so red. I was laughing. Right in the meeting, Megan was in the meeting, Abby was in the meeting. I'm calling my wife down. You gotta come see this. It was so funny. Anyway, and my wife just shakes her head. She knows how I am. But anyway, so image searches are important. You can go look and find some of the funniest things out there and really learn a lot of information about that. I did not know that about myself, that I appeared in Elle magazine, and I found it that way. So go put an image of yourself in there. It may be surprising what you find. Anyway, enough about me. I thought that was a funny story. If those of you who know me personally, you just probably are shaking your heads like, geez, Kevin. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Let's look at some practical investigation stuff, right? So what sort of things can this technology help you with? Well, obviously you can see that it will find other appearances of an image that you didn't know existed somewhere, and you may learn something, as I did, even though it's not really pertinent to any case, but it's still rather amusing. But what about, and my student, as I mentioned earlier, they were talking about, what about, people you don't know who they are, you see something, objects. So I'm going to use a real basic thing here, and it's just because I'm old and I didn't know who some of these people were. I'm going to use a real basic image that I pulled off of the internet. I'll be honest. I just pulled it off of there. There it is. But notice, and this is what caught my attention. I was just grabbing random people pictures. This is celebrities because I thought I'd have the best luck with that. And sure enough, I did. But I'm going to use more practical examples here in a minute. So bear with me. So with this, if I needed to say who these people were, or say I just wasn't in law enforcement, I didn't keep track of the latest trends or who was who. Didn't really care. But with this, when you drop this in here, these frames you can move around, right? If you can see, I'm moving this frame around, and say I just want to move it around these people. Oops, hold on. Right up here, right? And watch the search results over on the right-hand side. Google's constantly updating based off of what you're focusing on, okay? So the Olsen twins, right? That's where this is focusing. And the only reason I know that because it says so right there, right? It says their last day right there. And it finds other pictures of them and additional pictures in that series, okay? Now, I use this as an example. It's a little bit outrageous, but I knew when I first did this one for the students, I knew it was going to work, right? Because I obviously, when you instruct something, you don't want the chance of a live demo going terribly wrong. This doesn't always work. This isn't some amazing thing that it'll often find everything. So keep that in mind, but it does find a lot. It does find a lot. So I would personally always use this. So say, I don't know, you had a picture of something and you wanted to ID it, like this bag for whatever reason. Now, obviously, women, if you want to see a bag in a picture and you want to go buy it, then it's going to go find other images of that bag to help you identify it. So once I did this, I'm like, this could really do a lot of things, right? So maybe I want to go and look at this bag. So let's go and highlight that one. As Google searches, you can see here that it's going to come up with some results. This one's 775. I don't know bags, so I can't tell you if this bag, I'd have to look at patterns, and this is probably unique, handcrafted, no other one like it in the world. But I did find one on here, and I don't see it initially right here. Also, hey, a quick trick to this. If you stretch this thing out differently, you get different results. It's like the AI sees something just a little bit different the next time it'll redo it. So there you go. So see, this bag now for $4,000 just popped up here. That wasn't there before. So make sure you just reposition a few times to get it, and it's going to be really apparent in a few of these. But when I initially did this, I was like, and I'm sorry, I didn't know who this person was. Again, I don't keep track of a lot of pop things culture wise, and I should, but I didn't. It finds this, and nobody really seems to know. Look, I was looking at this, going, okay, it doesn't know who this person is. You think it would, because where did I get this image initially? I got the image initially from Google. So you think it would know who it was. So again, not 100%, and it may not work for you all the time. But hey, there it is. So what I did is I just went, okay, let me stretch down and maybe grab the whole image of this person and see if we can identify them. Sure enough, we see, okay, hey, that definitely looks like the same person. Maybe not, but let me pull this out a little bit more like that. And there we go. We know it's Rihanna, right? You guys probably already knew that. I was the only one that doesn't know that. There you have it. So there you go, find other pictures in the series of her. But again, we're talking celebrities. This isn't real world practical stuff. So now let's talk real world practical stuff. Okay. So I have a couple different examples here to show you. 1, 2, 3 to be exact. 3 examples that I wanted to show you of this. So I'm going to go back to Google's homepage here and take a look at this. So what I did is, say we have an investigation, we come across an image of, I don't know, it could be anything, right? And we have this family somewhere in the world right here. Now, again, I pulled this from Google search, so it's going to probably find the exact image. But if you didn't know where this was, right? If you didn't know where this was in the world and you have other families in this, it will find it for you. You know, let's say this great looking family here chilling out. I'm going to go ahead and just focus back here on this part of the image, because obviously it's got a very unique skyline. There it is. It pulls in this plus some additional lower pieces of the image, if you notice, that are not down here in this image, or at least in the crop that I've selected. It goes ahead and finds them, identifies the park and the location to where this thing's at. So you should be able to find out pretty quickly where this is at, right? If you're, you know, say they got the lady in the picture had a bag stolen. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever the crime is. I'm just making that up, and it made no sense. But you know, whatever you're investigating, and you need to find a location, this will aid you in doing that. Is it 100%? No, it absolutely isn't 100%. It's Barcelona, Megan, I think. Yes, this is Barcelona, which I was in Barcelona, but I wasn't here. I went this part of it. I don't remember it being that way. So yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, so that's a real world case that you can do that. You can focus in on different objects in here. I haven't done this one yet, and of course I'm trying to do it live, so who knows if it's going to work or not. Of things there, boom, look at that. So it's going to go find other pictures and know right where this is at, right, and get you the best guess, the best locations to where this image was located here, which I think is phenomenal. Now, I told you at the beginning of this. Here's why I think this was created. Again, I don't know. I'm speculating and guessing. I think this was created to obviously shop for things. If I see a celebrity with an awesome shirt or a pair of shoes, I can highlight that and look at it, and it's going to try to sell me stuff. Apparently, this thing's for sale for $80. No, I'm kidding. It's probably a picture, right? What is it? I have no idea. I don't want to click it to see. It's Adobe, so it's a picture. But you know, you can go and buy those things. That's why I think this was created. Now, I think, like if you go to Amazon, I think this service is out. It's been out for a little while in shopping sites. It makes sense to me in shopping sites because you can identify things in there to buy. But as investigators, man, you can see the possibilities that we can use this for and really get down in the weeds on this thing. So let's look at some more real world examples. So I had a student ask me, hey, can this identify landmarks? Well, we know it can now, but what about landmarks none of us have a clue about, right? Non-popular landmarks that probably Google doesn't even know about. If it's been indexed and if it's there, it's going to find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up this picture that probably none of you know where this is at, but lo and behold, Google does. Google does. This is the university where I teach, or a building at the university. But let's just say it was, this part of the image, and there was people in the foreground, of this image. It's going and finding different angles of said image, and it's identifying the building at Ohio Northern University that's there. So landmarks that you don't even know about, right? And you have I have no idea, and I wouldn't even know go about finding this information. It's like where this image is taken, but this will do it for us. So this will go and identify that if there's a similar image that it's able to. Now, I'm sure it will fail. I haven't gone through my personal pictures of my travels around the globe to see if it's going to identify all of these things. My guess is that it probably would locate some of the things. I'm a typical touristy picture shot guy. Hey, that's a really nice looking building that everyone takes a picture of. I want one too, just to say that I took that one. I don't know. I don't get it, but I think it's pretty awesome, all of the stuff that you can get. So now we know at least a location. And then if you want to know more about this, where it's actually at, you can go and look on the map and find out where this building's at, find out maybe where it was taken based off of image. I mean, you can use Google Streets from there and go ahead and try to line that thing up and locate this building. I think it's pretty neat. If you guys like that and think that's cool, let me know, because I think it's pretty awesome. Any questions so far? Anything that you guys want to see? I got another example yet to show you. Like I said, it's not going to be a full hubcast today, but I do got one more, and it's a pretty cool example of what another capability of this. And if you guys have an idea, it's like, man, what could this be used for? Could we use it for this? Can we use it for that? Throw something in here, take a look at it, find out, and see. Now, just keep in mind, if you are using this for like a government type investigation or something like that, I have no clue what Google is using these images for as I push them up into their system. Okay, so something to be aware of as you're dropping these images into Google search bar. I don't know what Google does with it, so it's something that needs looked at. But other services like TinEye, things like that, they don't actually keep the uploaded image. I'm guessing Google doesn't, but I can't say for sure. I mean, we know what social media does, and these companies are constantly collecting data on us. That's how they do their job, right? But there we have it. But if you notice also, there's a way to text and translate text if you see that down here. I don't have any examples of that, but maybe we can try that in another hubcast later on. Another picture that I want to talk about, and this is ones that we dealt with all the time, is footage from gas stations, or maybe some outside location that you see a car, you see something happening. In this scenario, which I'm going to drop here right there. All right, it's an actual still from an actual camera that was out there. And take a look at this thing. It's pretty crazy, right? So what's happening, I think, is all I can tell. I can't remember the context of this, but you can see there's other images that are similar to it already that it found out there because it was on news. It was all over the place. But if this is a fresh investigation, you may not get all this stuff that it's already pulling up. But say I don't know what kind of car this is right here. I have no clue what this is. Now, I can kind of see it unless you're going to go through some image enhancement, things like that. But let's go and just take a look at this. Now, this is one that you need to move this box around a few times to maybe just get it in its full wonder. But it pretty much grabbed it right there. Boom. So if you look at these search results, it looks like, appears to be, again, I'm using very investigator type lingo here. It appears to be an image of a Toyota Camry, anywhere from what I can tell, a 2015, based off of what I'm seeing here, to 2017. If the years are right, obviously we need to do a little bit more homework. We can, kind of scroll down through here to see if there's anything lower than a 15 or anything higher than a 17 year. I don't know what this one is. This has some fins on it. Can't really see, but right here, there's fins on this one. And it doesn't appear to me that there are, this looks like a smooth surface here to me. So I would be more inclined to go, and maybe it was just different models, or like, this is whatever. I don't know the different sub models of these things that are out there, but it clearly does appear to be the car with that year, depending on what we're looking at. So this is probably our suspect car, and we'll have a quick idea of what that is if you couldn't really tell what that was, which I didn't know. Obviously, if you're a street officer or someone who knows a lot about cars, you're going to see it right away and go, it's that. I had no idea. What about the other one? Say the other one was the suspect car, right? Anyone have any ideas? I'll wait a few seconds on the other car just to see if anyone wants to guess what it is while I wait there. I have some good ideas. I haven't really gone like the deep dive into it. I've gone on just what results is, so I kind of know already what this is. So we can focus in on the car, and it's going to help us identify the model of it. So I'm going to wait and see if anyone wants to take a shot at it and see what it is. All right. No one's going to take a shot at it. I know I'm delayed by about 10 seconds or so from everyone else. So I'm going to move this, just grab this box, slide it across. Now, keep in mind, the AI in this, or the detection software, is going to have some issues. So we may have to adjust this a little bit, because obviously there's a person in here, so it's causing some different things to happen to the vehicle. But if we do look at this, it's saying it's a Buick Encore in some of these, or Opal something in other ones. But so this may get you close, or at least narrow it down. Now, you notice I'm kind of bringing this stuff out. That was saying it was a Nissan something I just saw before I moved this last piece over. So again, not going to give you like, this is what it is. Not yet. AI is coming a long way, but we're not quite there. But it may get you close. And if you notice now, excuse me, it's not identifying at all. It's giving you some kind of close cars and what they look like. Obviously, this is a very popular car to be, committing crimes in, or being involved in a crime here. But let me see if I can move this. See, I'm just moving it slightly every so often, and I get different results from it as I'm looking down through here. I'd have to see the back of that car, and I don't have a real good back. I don't know why it's showing me the front of it, but you'll have to look to see, because you have similar traits here, right? If we zoom in on this, we have this big chrome piece that looks like it's coming across here, and there's some reflection in here. We have some very distinct bumper markings. The lights appear to be this like slanted eye, catty corner shape. So there's some key things in here that we want to look at when we're doing it. But at least it's going to get you closer than what you were if you had no idea what this car was. It may put you in a ballpark of certain models to look at as you're kind of adjusting this thing around and moving it. There it says it's a Chevy Trax. See how it comes up with different ones no matter how I slightly move the box around it. So we want to keep our eyes on that. And look, so Chevy Trax, okay, that's another one. Check. Let's go and see if it's a Chevy Trax, and we'll look a little bit closer at the Chevy Trax and see maybe if that's the case. So here's a back image of it. I don't see that big chrome piece. Oh, is that the Encore? That's an Encore. Is there any these are all showing Encores, yet this is showing a Trax up here. So go figure what's happening. Encore. Now this kind of, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to do a full investigation right here, but it'll get you on the right track where you guys can start looking at this a little bit closer and narrow it down from the, hundreds of models of cars that are out there on the market today, to decide that. And I'll be curious to see if you've used Google Lens for something different, something interesting that I didn't show here today. What did you use it for? I'd be curious, the capabilities. And if you're watching this in post, not the live show, like afterwards, drop it in the comments below. Again, just to help other investigators out to see, hey, man, I didn't know you could do that with Google image search. I thought it was just reverse image. Didn't know that you could focus in on a specific thing and it would identify that thing, or at least attempt to identify said thing, which is pretty awesome that it's able to do that. So there you go. I think that's it. That's the gist of it. Those are all the images that I wanted to show. 1, 2, 3. Yep, those are all the ones that I brought up. So I'll leave this to you guys for a couple seconds. If you want to see something, I can find it real quick and throw it, since this is a live show. Willing to do it. I'm happy to do this stuff to the end. Always want to try to get to the meat of it, because I tend to talk way too much, which everybody that knows me knows that's true at the beginning. So we'll save all that till now. Anything that you guys want to see, by all means, let me know. Anything that you have done an investigation yourself on, man, drop it in the comments. I would love to know some of the creative things that you're seeing out there. Or if there's a better service and you're like, hey, Google's great, but have you tried this? Have you tried that? I would love to know. That way we can add it and share it with other investigators across the planet. Now, I know there's some paid services out there too, that do these things. But again, if you have not joined Cyber Social Hub, you can do so. cybersocialhub.com, 100% free. And again, we give these resources away. And if you're on our mailing list, obviously some of you may have got an email about this cast going out today when we started. And we give vendors things away, information about latest technologies, all kinds of events that are coming up, webinars, and it's all free for you. Well, some of the events are not free, but like the webinars are generally free. You can attend, learn something, maybe learn something. Maybe you already knew. Maybe you could teach something. Like I'm always looking for people to interact in these lives. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, because I definitely don't know it all. And I'm hoping you guys can help out along the way as well. But since the chat is so quiet and I don't see anything else as I scroll, does it work for highways? I see Tamar Forensics. I don't know. Highways. Sorry, I didn't see that when it was scrolled down. I don't know. Obviously, if I do a Google search for a highway and drop it into Google, it's going to know probably where that thing's at, more than likely. You know what? I'm headed down to Oasis in Florida, and I'm going to see a lot of highways along the way from here in northern Ohio all the way down to Orlando. So maybe I'll run some tests and I'll drop some updates down into the comments of this and find it. That one I don't know. Again, it'd be interesting to see. My students are working on a project over the week. Since it essentially when we're broadcasting this, Easter's coming up, and going to push this thing out. So that most of them are going home, the students, and a lot of them want to take pictures of restaurant signs. Like if there's people standing in front of a restaurant, you don't know where that restaurant's at. Obviously, you can Google it, but how many Tony's pizzas are there on planet Earth, right? There's a million Tony's pizzas probably on Earth, but their signs may be a little different, and it may be identify it in an image. So they're testing that now for us, and I'll kind of try to drop some stuff down in the comments as my students find out some stuff. But if not, if you guys don't have anything, sorry, I didn't have that answer for you tomorrow, but we will check it out. If not, that's really all I had for today's Hubcast in out. I hope you guys learned something. Don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps our algorithm and get seen more. And we're just trying to get the word out to other digital investigators. If there's something that you want to see, come on into Cyber Social Hub and get a hold of me. It's just Kevin DeLong in there. You can do an @Kevin DeLong or message me, DM me, whatever you got to do. Oh, Martin, no worries. Martin says, hold on, I'm going to put this up on the screen here. He was in LinkedIn chat, and then, yeah, you're probably wondering, why isn't this jerk answering me? Because I can't see LinkedIn chat, sorry. Weapons, patches, and logos are great. Sorry, is a LinkedIn chat. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I wouldn't think of that. Like, you know, if you're maybe bike gangs, something like that, or just random patches you see. Some of the weapons, make, model, what is it exactly? Get you close, right? Now, a lot of the, yeah, I mean, it gets you closer, one step. It can't be much different than cars, right? With some of that stuff that are out there. Brad, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, Isis is actually in here. Look at that. Boop. Hey, happy Easter to you guys too. See you guys in a couple weeks down there. The big show's coming up. We'll be down there broadcasting too. Brad, thanks. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you remember. You remember Cyber Social Hub? Your name is really familiar. It could be. And then, yeah, tomorrow, I didn't think of this one either. Tattoos. Yeah, you may be able to get some tattoos. Now, I'd be curious because, you know, especially if it's like a custom tattoo, unless there's another picture of it, it's been indexed somewhere else. It's interesting. Maybe. I don't know. It's a good way to sign. Now, I know there's some services out there that find these really strange images on an Intel level. Like, again, I've seen some trade shows like is it T3K or TK3? Used to do some image video stuff like that. Obviously, there's image detectors out there for your CSAM stuff. There are a lot of great companies out there that do that as well. But yeah, I mean, tattoos I haven't thought of either. It'd be interesting to see what they come up with. I don't have any. I was always do a commitment thing with tattoos that I couldn't. But yeah. Anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate your time. Thanks for everybody on the feedback. Again, appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe down there. And if you want, hit the little bell and you'll be notified when we go live next. And if you're not a member of Cyber Social Hub, I know it's getting old, right? Join. The reason I tell you to join is because it's all free. And if you don't like the emails we send, just hit unsubscribe. Kevin, don't send me anymore. Now, the system internally, the hub will still send you, like if someone messages you directly, it will still send you an email. But I'm talking the marketing emails. We won't send any more of those things. I promise. So until I talk to you guys maybe next week, and we'll get a show lined up, let you guys know what it is. Take care. Have a great Easter weekend if you celebrate. If not, just have a phenomenal weekend. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and thanks so much, and I'll see you in cyber.